When people think about Zurich, usually a few images come to mind. Swiss chocolate, expensive watches, banks, but there's much more to Zurich than just that. And once you visit the city, you see that. But what would you do and where would you go if you only had one day to explore Zurich? Today we are visiting the largest city in Switzerland, and we're going to explore the city and see what you can do in Switzerland's largest city in one day. This behind me is the Polybahn, which is a cute little red funicular that's been running here since the 1880s. And it was originally built to connect the university to the city center. And nowadays, it's also a tourist attraction, but people just use it in their everyday lives to go from here, from the bottom of the city center up to the top of the hills. And from up there, you have a beautiful view of the city. It's only like 2 minutes, but look at the view, it's so cute. When you get to the top, just turn right, and this here is the Polyterrasse. It's a viewpoint of the city right in front of the university, and the view is beautiful. We are at Lindenhof right now, which is a viewpoint. Just a few steps down is the river. You can see it right here. Behind me, across the river, you can see the Old Town, which is the medieval part of Zurich. And right behind me here, you can see the cathedral, which is being renovated right now. This used to be actually a very important fort during the Roman times, but right now it's mostly a viewpoint and a tourist attraction. People just come here to chill as well, locals. And on that side, there is a little farmer's market going on. This behind me is the Limmat river, which runs through the city, and historically this was a very important river for the development of Zurich, but nowadays it's much more chill and quiet around here. You see actually a lot of swans and ducks in the water, and the coolest thing about this river is that in the warmer months a lot of people just hang out by the water and even swim in this river. There are some parts of the river where you can see people swimming when it's warm outside. One tip if you're coming to Zurich is to bring your own water bottle or just buy one at the supermarket and refill it during the day, because they have these water fountains all over the city and it's drinkable water, so you can save on water. Normally this is actually a very nice spot to see this church behind me and the river, but unfortunately now everything is under construction, so not a nice view. This building under renovation behind me is actually one of the most iconic buildings here in the city. It is a church from the 12th century, and there are two towers to this church, which normally you can go up, and from there you have a beautiful view of the city. But right now it's actually closed for visitors because they're renovating the church. Since you cannot really tell how beautiful it is right now because of all the construction going on, we're going to include a picture for you to see what it looks like normally. A lot of people arrive in Zurich with the train, and once you leave the main train station, you step right onto this street, which is Bahnhofstrasse, and it's famous for being one of the most expensive shopping streets in the world. Here you'll find a bunch of different luxury brands and also especially a lot of different Swiss watch brands. It's a great shopping experience if that's what you're into, but even if you're not gonna buy anything like me, you just come here to walk around, see all the shops, and just this avenue is like really nice, and it's a very central spot with all the beautiful trees around. It's just great to walk around as well. Let's go shopping for a 30,000 euro watch. Just got some coffee and came here to the lake, and we spent 15 euros on 2 coffees, so Switzerland really is as expensive as they say. And it's so beautiful here. There's a lot of ducks and swans swimming by looking for something to eat, I think. And there's a lot of boats. It's a beautiful day, just nice to chill by the water. Even though this is a really popular spot and you can see that it's kind of crowded here, it's still very chill compared to the city center where we were just now. So this is a very good place to just come and chill, and it doesn't feel as chaotic as the city center, even though we are technically still in the city center. We're like 5 minutes away from all the hustle and bustle, so it's just good to come here and chill. What's really nice about here is that you can walk along the water. You see actually a lot of people running and riding bikes. You can rent some bikes and ride your bike around here. That's a really cool thing to do too. And there are also some bars and restaurants where you can come and hang out. That's, I think, a really cool thing about having a river or a lake right in the middle of the city. It's just such a nice vibe.
Down by Lake Zurich, the city feels completely different. It's quieter, slower, and somehow it feels more local. People aren't rushing anywhere, they're just sitting by the water and chilling. It's one of those places where you don't really need a plan. You just walk by the lake and stop when something catches your attention. And then, almost unexpectedly, you come across something completely different. A Chinese garden.
So Right next to the lake is this place. It's a Chinese temple and garden. It's free to enter, and you can just walk around here and enjoy the beautiful architecture. But they ask you not to eat or drink here because this is a temple. But it's just really nice. It's a beautiful place, very different from the vibe outside, and it's just nice to walk around and hang out. There are two main bodies of water in Zurich, the river and the lake, which is Lake Zurich here behind me. And it's actually really cool to see, now that it's getting warm, that the people enjoy the lake. You can see a lot of people swimming, just going on boats, stand-up paddling. It's really nice. The vibe here is really cool. And one of the coolest things about this is this boat behind me, which is essentially like a bus, but it's a boat. We're gonna take it and see some of the lake.
One thing that stands out in Zurich is how the lake isn't just for views. These boats are actually part of the public transportation system. You can use them to move across the city, but at the same time, it doesn't really feel like commuting. Once you're out on the lake, everything slows down. The noise of the city fades and Zurich starts to feel a lot smaller and quieter. From here, you see how everything connects. The old town, the shoreline, the hills in the distance. It's a completely different perspective compared to walking through the streets. And even though you're still right next to the city, it feels like you've stepped away from it for a moment. From above, it becomes even clearer. Zurich isn't just built around the lake, it's shaped by it.
If you buy a public transportation pass, so they have this day ticket where you pay around 90 euros for the ticket, depending on which zone you want to go to. And you can take trams, buses, and this boat, and it's really cool. They have different stops, so some of them go really far away from the city, so it takes like 3 hours to go all the way around the lake. But some of them are shorter, like 45 minutes or something. So beautiful. I cannot believe this is public transportation. Took some pizza to go. It looks beautiful, and we decided to get some pizza and sit by the lake, by the river actually, because the weather is just so beautiful. We didn't want to be in a restaurant, and okay, it's not very like typical Swiss, this meal, but I just thought it was too warm for fondue, so we're gonna enjoy a little pizza by the water. Getting around the city is actually super easy, and if you're gonna stay in the city center, you don't actually even need to get a public transportation ticket, but we decided to get one because we wanted to come to this place. It's called Uetliberg, and this place is around 20 minutes from the city center with the train. So we decided to get a day ticket, which gives us access to all the public transportation in the city, and including the boats and this train behind us. And then from here, we are gonna hike up the mountain where we get one of the best views of the city. We are standing on top of Uetliberg now, and from the train station up here it was like a 10-minute walk uphill, but I think it's definitely worth it, even though it's a bit tiring for this view. You can see the entire city. We were down there on the lake, and you can see the Alps even from here. And if you want to go even higher, there is a little tower which you can pay 2 francs for, and then you climb up and you go, I think, around like 100 meters higher.
From up here, the streets that felt busy earlier in the day suddenly seem small, almost distant. And you start to realize how closely the city is connected to the landscape around it. The lake stretches through the middle of everything, the hills surround the city from every direction, and beyond them the Alps appear on the horizon. It's easy to think of Zurich as a financial capital full of banks and businesses, but from above that's not what stands out. What stands out is actually how green it is, how calm it feels, and how naturally the city blends into the water and the hills around it. And maybe that's exactly what makes Zurich special, the balance between all these different elements.
Even though one day in Zurich is not enough to see everything, it's definitely enough to see some of the main sites, enjoy the city, and see that the city is definitely worth the visit, even if it's just for a day. Of course, there was a lot of stuff that we missed, like we didn't have time to go to the Lind Museum, to the FIFA Museum, to so many different museums that there are here, art galleries. But even though the city is the biggest one in Switzerland, it's still quite compact, and especially in the city center, you can see a lot of sights in a day. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe and follow us for more content like this.